Hello, guys, and welcome back to another edition of Baseball Talk with your brothers. My name is Nicholas Earl, joined here with my brother Tim, and today, under pressure, we're talking who has the most pressure, who has the least pressure, in the MLB. We got 5 tiers. The top one is pressure is on. You're expected to go far. You're expected to win a championship. You have high expectations and a lot of pressure in order to get it done. Some pressure. You're expected to get some stuff done, but it's not like over bearish. Meh. Expect you to exist, maybe finish 500. Not much. They don't expect too much from you, but you can have some nice upside. Is it 2027 yet? Meaning you have absolutely no pressure to do anything in 2026. You ready to get started, Tim?
Yeah, well, I'll quickly have to mention, because if we don't mention it, and he's going to let us hear in the comments, this video was recommended by Mr. Numbers. Okay, we can start now.
Okay, we'll kick it on off. We're going to go alphabetical order here. The Arizona Diamondbacks last year missed the playoffs. This year, not expected to make the playoffs. They're in a tough division where I see 3 teams above them. Do they have any pressure? Like, this feels like meh. Like, they might have some upside, but, like, not much.
I wanted to put him in some pressure. Only reason why is they still have, like Perdomo is reaching his peak. And Corbin Carroll, as long as he comes back good from his injury, should be one of the best outfielders in baseball. Ketel Marte is the best second baseman in baseball. You don't want to ruin these guys' primes. Like, you're getting these guys at like the top of their range right now, and you can't really. I wouldn't really want to throw it away. I know some people could say, "Oh, they have a shot at the wild card." I feel like if they don't play well at all this season, they might have to blow some stuff up.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that a little bit too, but like at the same time, their pitching does not give me any expectations for them, and maybe that just drove my pressure on them down a little bit. They did make the World Series, what's going to be 3 years ago now, at the end of the season. I think meh is okay, because if they make the playoffs, cool, but they're not really expected to.
If they make the playoffs, it's kind of a job done, well done.
Yeah. The Atlanta Braves, they're a tricky team. I think there's some pressure here because you still have your core that you have signed away for a long time. You have Ronald Acuna under a cheap contract only for a couple more years. There's expectations because this team has been good in years past. I don't think they're very good this year. I think they're gonna struggle this year. But I think some pressure on the Atlanta Braves, but you also they're in a tough division, and I feel like the expectations have waned on them a little bit with injuries.
I want to say the pressure is on.
Ooh.
I want to say there's pressure in Atlanta, because if not, then all of a sudden they're looking, if they have another bad year and they look at it and go, well, we have a bunch of our core, they're playing well, but we're not winning, then they might, although they have the World Series, they might get into a pretty similar state of what the Mets did the last offseason. It was completely trade away and gut some players and then start new. They have some stuff coming up, but I think they're going to be able to.
Really?
I think they're going to be able to try to gut stuff out if they don't have a good season, because at this point it would be a wild card exit and a completely missed the playoffs last year. That's your last 2 years, which is very disappointing for the Braves. I think the pressure is on for them, especially if they get a fully healthy season from most of their position players, because then all of a sudden you're looking at them going, what did we mess up? So I want to put them in the top tier of pressure is on in Atlanta.
Yeah, I think we can put them in the top tier, but I think they will be at the bottom of the top tier.
That's fair, but my version of the pressure is on is if they don't have a good year, they're going to blow up their team.
Okay. That's fair.
Why I think pressure is on with the Atlanta Braves.
How about the Baltimore Orioles?
I want to go some pressure.
I was thinking the same thing.
Because you just had a bad year. You want to bounce back from a bad year. You just got all of those pieces that you kind of need. You're going and getting I really like that rotation. So you kind of have a little bit of expectations for this year. Some pressure, meaning you guys need to make the playoffs. If you guys make the playoffs, you're heading in a better direction. But this should be a team that this year should be there getting to the playoffs. Next year should be there. We're going for the World Series.
See, I thought that was a couple years ago when they won 100 games, though. Like
I agree too. Last year was a complete dumpster fire. I think when it comes to it, they're building for this year and they're building for next year because they still have all their young guys and they'll have them for at least another year.
Yeah,
most of their core is still going to be there next year. So this is going to be your some pressure, meaning you have to get to the playoffs. But we don't expect you to win the World Series. We don't expect you to make the World Series. But this would be a great, like, what the Toronto Blue Jays did last year.
Yeah, I feel like the Orioles could be a very similar position there. What about the Red Sox? I feel like they're pretty similar. There's pressure on them. It's a tough division. I don't think there's as much pressure on them as there is the Baltimore Orioles because they got to the playoffs last year. So maybe this is you got to the playoffs last year, let's win the division this year type of thing. But I don't see them blowing up the core if they don't do anything. No, because this is other than maybe trading a Durant away, but like I don't see them blowing up the core just because they lose in the wild card again. Like I don't see something like that. Red Sox, I feel like there's some pressure. I don't think I don't think there's a ton for them because they're on the way up.
Yeah.
But is this a team that you see has more pressure, or am I off here?
I feel like the Red Sox have the Orioles next year. Like I feel like last year was they're getting to the playoffs. This year was you've got to make a run. So I do think there is some pressure. I'm going to say there's more pressure in Boston than Baltimore.
Ooh.
And the only reason why is because, as you mentioned, Boston actually made it last year. Baltimore didn't. I feel like the Baltimore Orioles are where their expectations are what Boston last year. Boston's expectations should be what Toronto did last year.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Chicago.
That's kind of my idea.
Yep, Chicago Cubs. Interesting one here. I don't want to say the pressure is on because
I do.
I mean, the pressure is on. Is it more than the Braves though?
No,
I don't think so. I don't think so either.
I would say the pressure is on. The main reason why this is your big opportunity to win the division. Like, because when I look at it, the Brewers, they might have a little bit of a down year this year. They've got a lot of young studs that are going to be really good for the next couple of years. This may be the Brewers' year to like take a little bit of regression. This is Pittsburgh's I kind of view Pittsburgh the same way as I want to view Baltimore. This is your get to the playoffs year, and like with that case, so you're going to have Pittsburgh coming up on you in a year or two. You're going to have Cincinnati coming up on you in a year or two. You're going to have St. Louis coming up on you in 2 to 3 years. Like this is going to be, I don't want to say the easiest, but this is going to be the best opportunity for the Cubs to win their division. This has got to be a high pressure year for them.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
You need to win 95 plus games. You need
I don't think
to get
it's
one
that
of the top
much.
2 seeds.
Okay, I could see that one. But
This is you need to win a bunch of games and make a deep run in the playoffs this year when you don't have as much competition in the Central.
Yes and no. I do think the Central will be better this year a little bit. I think the Brewers are still a good baseball team. Are they going to win? Are they going to win? Are they going to win 97 games? No.
I was going to say that this is going to be the softest the division's going to look for the next 5 years.
Maybe.
This is going to be the easiest opportunity for the Cubs to get there in the next 5 years.
That's fair. White Sox. Is it 2027 yet?
Could put not much.
I was kind of thinking that. Like,
I want to reserve, is it 2027 yet, to like Colorado and
Washington?
And Washington and St. Louis.
Okay.
And like some of the teams that are completely rebuilding. I'm going to put not much for them. There might be a little bit of pressure to not lose 100 plus games, to show some type of progress in their progression.
I think the pressure is more for individual players this year than it is the team itself.
That's
like, do you want to? You have to prove that you are the player that the White Sox want to move with going forward.
Like, I want to look at some of these teams. Like, all right, what do we expect from them this year? And if it's nothing, that's when we put them in 2027. My expectations for the White Sox this year, don't finish last in your division.
Yeah.
Because I think the Twins finished last in their division. So my expectations are if you're going to finish last, make it close, like a game or two behind the fourth place team.
Fair. Cincinnati Reds, meh.
I'll say meh. This is going to be a team that you're hoping shows some type of progression. You want to see some of your young hitters start to do better. I want to see a really good year out of Ela de la Cruz. But like this is a team that's once again kind of similar to the White Sox. So it's not as much the team's progression, but some of their young players' progression.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, and I feel like they would be up here if Hunter Green was healthy.
I agree.
With Hunter Green not healthy to start the year, I feel like that lowers expectations a little bit for the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah.
And they're just like a whatever team. I feel like last year with them making the playoffs, even though they weren't the greatest team, it felt like that one meme was like me when it was like Reds, you made the playoffs, me. Yeah. Just because everyone around them kind of crapped out.
Yeah.
But move on. Guardians, meh.
Meh to not much.
Yeah.
The reason why I would probably put him in not much, and the reason why, well, you didn't put much into your team this offseason.
Yeah.
So if you didn't put much into your team this offseason, I don't put much pressure on them. And
they won the division last year.
And that's probably exactly what they want. They don't want pressure on them. They don't want to be the center of attention. Talk about the Tigers. Talk about the Royals. Leave us alone. And we're going to find a way to make the playoffs at the end of the year. So I never put pressure on them.
Yeah. Rockies, pressure's on.
It's Rocktober, baby. If they don't win the World Series, this is a failure. We're gonna put it as a 2027 yet. I agree. And the whole goal for them this year:
don't lose 100 games.
Don't lose 100 games. I think they have enough to not lose 100 games.
Yep. Pretty simple. Moving on, Detroit Tigers, the pressure is on for them. I think they're one of the top teams, I think, for the pressure being on for them this year. Mm-hmm. This is the last year with Skubal. And, yes, you have Framber signed next year as well, and then he, I think, has a player option opt-out. This is the year that if you're going to make a run, you have to do it this year while Skubal is still in Detroit.
I agree.
Because he won't be next year. The pressure is on Detroit.
I would say by the end of this video, Detroit's staying right in that spot.
Ooh.
I would say Detroit has the most pressure on them out of any team in baseball. Once again, you mentioned Skubal. It's his last year there because he's not signing a big contract with Detroit. Mm-mm. You're bringing up Kevin McGonigal as one of your everyday players. You're not going to bring him up right in the beginning of the year if you don't think the pressure is on this year. That's why the Mets brought up Carson Bench. Like, that's why you're starting to see – and that's the difference between the Tigers and, like, Pittsburgh later because they didn't bring up Connor Griffin. If they brought up Connor Griffin, all of a sudden they're a lot higher pressure. But like Detroit, they're bringing up Kevin McGonigal. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Max Clark is up within 2 months. Like they're going to bring up some young guys to get in there that they think are going to impact. This year, last year at Skubal, you've got to do something.
Yep. Houston Astros, man. I feel like we kind of expect that the dynasty is over for them, and really? I feel like a lot of people are counting this team out and are like whatever about the Astros because they're not the Mariners. Yeah. Some people like the Rangers. The Athletics are getting a lot of hype. For me, the Astros are just one of those teams that's like flying under the radar right now. It's like, meh.
All right, I don't see that as much. I see some pressure. And the main reason why is prove to us that you're still a contender every year. Prove to us that
I don't think they have to prove anything this year.
Well, they lost in a wild card round 2 years ago. They missed the playoffs last year
from a tiebreaker.
Prove to us you're still a playoff caliber team. I do think there's some pressure on there. Is Hunter Brown going to step up and be the ace? I think so. But is Yordan Alvarez going to stay healthy all year? There is to say meh. I don't think that's fair. I think Astros definitely have some pressure on them.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like it's not that much though. Like
it's not as crazy as it was the past couple of years, but like yes, there's still pressure on them to play well.
Kansas City Royals, meh. Like they're
I feel like top of meh.
Like
maybe next year they'll have some pressure on them.
Because I think they could be a mid team. I think they
I
could
think
be a
they can make
solid
the playoffs.
80 to 83 win team.
I want to put them in a very similar category as Baltimore. This is your year to make the playoffs. Like if we really think you're going to step up this year and make the playoffs. You have a bunch of young pitchers that you really like. You re-signed Miguel Garcia, Bobby Witt's in his cheap years right now. Like he
signed the extension though. He has a long-term extension.
He does have a long-term extension, but he made $8 million last year. He's going to make $10 million this year, and I think in 2 years or 2 or 3 years it clicks up to like $30 million. So he needs that. The Royals need to put into it now before that clicks in, because all of a sudden, once Bobby Witt clicks in, you're not going to have one of those Seth Lugos that you're going to be able to pay, because you're going to have to pay that to Bobby Witt. So pressure now to do it. I would put him at top of meh or bottom of some pressure.
Yeah, I like him. I like where we have him right there.
We may move them later on in the game. We'll see.
Angels.
Is it 2027 yet?
I feel like there's
what pressure?
Yeah, I was going to say.
What do you expect from them?
Can Mike Trout play? Like
that's great. I'm going to put them in. Is it 2027 yet? They've got some pieces that could be fun. I don't really.
I feel like there's always this expectation that they're going to compete, though. That's the tough part with them.
See, I don't see that. So my idea is no pressure. They've got no pressure this year because I'm not expecting them to do anything.
The Dodgers.
Can we put them in some pressure?
Some pressure, but towards the bottom of it.
Because
the only pressure they have is, can you three-peat?
Yeah,
like
that's not really anything.
At the end of the day, if you're the Dodgers, you're not going to blow up the core because you don't win a World Series this year. That's a core that you're going to keep together, and nothing's going to happen with the Dodgers based on the results of the season. Dave Roberts is not getting fired. Their GM is not getting fired. Nothing's going to happen if the Dodgers don't win the World Series or don't make a deep playoff run. They can lose in the NLDS and be like, whatever, we just played a ton of baseball the last 2 years. Let's refresh and win it again next year.
Yeah, they've won the World Series back-to-back years. We're not worried about no pressure on it. It's almost no pressure on it.
I kind of want to put them in not much pressure. I'm not putting them in 2020. I'm going to say there's not much pressure on them at all.
No, they won back-to-back World Series. There shouldn't be any pressure on them. That being said, you can also tell me you put them in pressure is on because
they spend $400 million.
They spend $400 million. But based off of...
I'm going to put them down. I'm going to put them in the I think they have the least amount of pressure for any team that's not completely dead heading into the year.
I agree.
Okay, cool. Miami Marlins.
I want to put in meh.
Meh?
Or not. I should put them in not much. And the main reason we put them in not much
I think they're very similar to the White Sox.
My goal for them is show more progression. Get to even 500 this year. That's going to be can you step up and make it to even 500?
Yeah.
I feel like that would be a good year for the Marlins.
Yeah.
So not much pressure for them. I don't think we get much.
Milwaukee Brewers. I think they're the meh of meh.
Yeah.
We don't have any expectations for the Brewers because we never have expectations for the Brewers, and the Brewers are the Brewers. So meh.
They'll figure out a way into the playoffs. I'm not worried about them at all.
Twins.
Is it 2027 yet?
I was thinking the same thing.
My one thing I want to see from them, when you're not doing well at the trade deadline, please trade Joe Ryan. Try your best to trade Buxton. Get a haul for them, please. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, and call up some of your young guys. I want to see some Walker Jenkins. I want to see some Manuel Rodriguez. I want to see some Kalen Culpepper. I want to see some Zebby Matthews. Call up your young guys.
Can we pair these two teams together?
Yes, because the pressure's on for these two.
Pressure's going to be on. I would put Mets, then Yankees, or Yankees. It really does not matter. Mets, overhaul their lineup, overhaul their roster.
This is a big test year for David Stearns and his philosophy.
I would say the pressure is more on David Stearns than the New York Mets.
Because they're on the players themselves, there's pressure, but only Juan Soto and Francisco Lindor are signed on contracts that'll be on the team in 3 years. Those are the only guaranteed contracts, other than Carson Benz is on this rookie deal, stuff like that. But the only player signed beyond 3 years is Lindor and Soto. Yep. So the players, they can flip them and do it again next year. But you just revamp the whole roster. You let go of Diaz. You let go of Alonso. You traded McNeil. You traded Nimmo. Time to prove those are the right moves, though. Like, the pressure on is showing that those are the correct moves for the long-term future of the New York Mets.
I agree. It just pressure. Actually, I would still have them 2 and 3. I would actually put the Yankees ahead of the Mets. Just because you're in a wide open American League. Or we can switch over to the Yankees now. Yankees are in a wide open American League. This is one of their best chances to make the World Series.
Not to mention Aaron Judge is not getting any younger, and if he retires without a ring, that we'll be talking about him the way we talked about Dan Marino.
Yeah.
That he's one of the best to ever do it, but he never won a ring.
The pressure is definitely on in both New Yorks.
Oh, absolutely, it always is.
It's especially high in the Bronx because a team that has such a winning history hasn't won the World Series in 17 years. And that's one. I think that is their longest drought ever.
Yeah.
So they're in the mix of that. The Mets obviously haven't won it in 40 years, so long drought there too. But
until this year,
high expectations for both New York teams. Pressure is always on in New York.
Oh, always. And the pressure cooker is always on there. Yeah, for the Yankees, win a World Series before Aaron Judge retires.
I agree.
I think that's pretty simple. You need to do that, and unless his legacy is kind of tarnished.
I agree.
But yeah, pressure is on for both these teams. They're interchangeable, 2-3. Athletics.
I want to have an interesting one for this one. I want to put them in, is it 2027 yet? And the only reason why I'm going to mention that, I would actually want to have a different tier of, is it 2028 yet? Because I'm not going to have any expectations on this Oakland team until they get their Major League Stadium in Vegas.
Okay.
Like, that's kind of, and it's not as much of, because I want to see them bring up pitching, but at the same time, I really don't want to see Jamie Arnold or Gage Jump pitch in a minor league stadium to major leaguers. That's terrifying.
Yeah. You're basically throwing in a PCL.
Would I love to see the Athletics make the playoffs? Would love to see it. Do I expect to see it in the next 2 years? No. What they're doing is they're building towards 2028 with the stadium in Vegas. So, in my opinion, if there's going to be a team that hurts the least from a lockout in 2027, Oakland would be okay with it, or the Athletics would be okay with it. Is it 2027 yet? Would be where I would want to put it.
Yeah. The Philadelphia Phillies. I think they are.
You think they're number 2?
I think they are number 2 because what team do you think would their core get blown up the most if they don't make a deep playoff run and or win a World Series this year? It's Philadelphia and it's Dave Dombrowski. Like, if they don't,
it's either the Phillies or the Yankees. So yeah.
Yes, if you were the Phillies, is it you need to win the World Series? Is it you need?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Do you need to make the World Series? Do you need to make the CS in order not to fire Dombrowski?
I think Dombrowski has not that long anyways. I think he said he was going to be retiring at the end of 2027. So I don't really think they're going to be going to try to fire him. But you got to look at it this way. You just signed Schwarber to a 5-year deal.
Yeah.
You have Harper for another
couple years.
You've got Trey Turner for another couple years. You got Realmuto now for 3 years. You have Wheeler until the end of next year. You have Christopher Sanchez. He just signed an extension, so they got him for a while. But at the same time, like this is your big opportunity, like last hurrah with a core at like their semi-peak. Like this is probably your last really good year with Harper.
Yeah.
Your last really good year with Realmuto. Your last good year with Schwarber. Like this is all-time high pressure for the Phillies, and they need because like we're like, oh, they need to make the World. They've already made the World Series.
Yeah.
Like they in what was 2023? They made the World
22.
Series. 22. They made
22. They made the World Series. Lost to the Astros. 23 is Arizona.
They've already made a World Series. They've made a CS. They made a DS. They've done it all besides win the World Series.
Yep.
No, this is a high pressure year for them.
Also, got to keep in mind, Bryce Harper's 33. He's a free agent after 32. So they still have This year, an additional 5 more of Harper. Trey Turner's 33. They have him till the end of 2033. So they have
free agent after this year.
No, 2033.
33. Holy shit. Okay.
They still have him for another 7 years after this because he signed an 11-year deal in 2023.
Wow.
Aaron Nola still has 4 more years after this one.
Oh, jeez.
He's 33. Kyle Schwarber's 33. He has 4 more years after this one. Jesus Luzardo's 28. He is a free agent.
Nope, he signed an extension.
Yeah, he signed an extension. He's a free agent after 2031. 2032, he has a team option. He's a free agent in 2033. Zach Wheeler is a free agent in 28. He's 36 years old. This is a team that their core is old, and they need to show something.
Yep.
Pittsburgh Pirates. Meh. I think they are meh. They're a team that were if we sit back and watch them this year and they don't make the playoffs, be like, yeah, it's the Pirates. But if they make the playoffs, we're like, oh, they made the playoffs. Like they're not a team that are like, I have any expectations for them. It'd be nice to see them do something, but I'm not sitting here being like they've got to make the playoffs unless this core needs to get blown up or something along those lines.
Yeah, they're not blowing up any core. Not yet at least. I agree with the meh. I kind of view them in the same boat as the Reds and the Royals. This is their year that I think they should try to go for a playoff run. Not a playoff run, make the playoffs. Like, this is their year. They have – I love the rotation. Like, that's Skeens, Bubba, Jared Jones when he comes back, Ashcraft,
Mitch
Keller. Like, that is a really freaking good rotation. And their bullpen is meh, but what makes up for a good bullpen?
Rotation.
A good rotation.
Too bad they don't play any defense. That's the issue with them.
I really like this Pittsburgh team. I think this is your year to possibly make the playoffs, but their playoff pressure is meh.
How about the San Diego Padres? They're a weird team. I want to say there's some pressure on them, but at the same time,
I put them at the end of some pressure, just because. Yes, you want them to do well, or you would want to see them like play well.
They're such a confusing team with the potential sale of the teams.
It doesn't make sense to think that they have the pressure on them because they're probably going to gut some players no matter what. But San Diego, they've got, but at the same time, I kind of view them similarly to the Phillies, although they have a couple more younger players. Manny Machado is getting up there. Nick Pivetta is getting up there. They've got Bogarts is probably one of the worst contracts in baseball. Like, they've got a couple of pieces that, after this year, might not look as great. So, some pressure, but at the same time, with everything that's going on with the team,
Yeah. The Giants, I want to put them here. I think the expectations for them this year is they at least make the playoffs.
I agree.
And this is when we start to question and when we start to really test what to expect with this team with Buster Posey at the reins. And I think that is one thing to really keep an eye on this year. Is this team run by Buster Posey going to be good or not?
Yeah,
I think they have playoff expectations. And I think that how good does Tony Vitello do managing this team?
I agree. Yeah, it's going to be something.
And what does his team look like this year? I think that in order for this to be a successful season with the Giants, I'm not saying they have to win the division because nobody's stopping the Dodgers, but like playoffs are a must, right?
Playoffs are a must for the Giants. They've got some pieces that they really need to like. They've got some good pieces they need to make it work.
Yep. Seattle Mariners. The pressure is on. By the way, I want real quick before we get into the Mariners, I want to switch those two.
I disagree, but
okay.
I just off of. I feel like they're both. You can make an argument for it, but I think the Tigers, with 1 year left, is the best pitcher in baseball.
Okay, fair. Mariners. The pressure is on. You made the CS last year. It's about damn time you make a World Series. This franchise has been around for how long, and they've never made a World Series. You have the roster to do it. You made additions in the offseason. You have the bullpen. You have the rotation. You have a decent lineup. It's about goddamn time they make a World Series. The pressure is on in Seattle because if it's not this year, when's it going to be for the Seattle team? I really don't know because these pitchers are going to start to cost money soon.
Yep.
And if you want to make a deep run with the budget that Seattle has,
this year's the year to do it.
It has to be this year because Logan Gilbert's going to need a pay raise soon. Brian Woo's going to need a pay raise soon. Bryce Miller's going to need a pay raise soon. Like, this rotation is going to need pay raises soon.
I agree.
And if you are expecting to compete, this is the year they have to do it when the pitchers are not as expensive. The pressure is on in Seattle.
100%. You've got the best pitching rotation in the American League, in my opinion. You've got the best bullpen in the American League.
One of, yeah.
They've definitely got some really good pieces in that bullpen. Your lineup, you've got some good young stars. You've got some prospects coming up. That's I feel like it's a pretty well-rounded lineup, and your defense has taken a step up. This is your year to make it because you've got, and I view them similarly to the way the Cubs. This is the year that the American League West is probably going to look the weakest in the next 5 years. Because you got the Astros, who you don't know what you're going to expect from them. The Rangers, that I don't expect much from. And you got Oakland and LA in rebuilds. So this is going to be the weakest the division looks in the next 5 years. This needs to be the year the Mariners make it to the playoffs. A, win their division again. B, go for the first round bye.
Yeah.
And get the 1 seed. I feel like they need to get the 1 seed in order for me to really be happy with what they do.
Yep. St. Louis.
Is it 2027 yet?
Yeah, I don't have any expectations for them. I'm not putting them below the Rockies, but yeah, no expectations for them.
I want to see what some of the young guys look like. Maybe some pressure on like JJ Weather, but some pressure on some younger players to step up.
Yeah. The Rays.
Not much.
Meh.
I would put them in not much just because you're expecting them to be in the bottom of the division.
It is a tough division. You're not expecting them to win much this year. My
hopes for the Rays is 500.
Yeah. So Texas Rangers.
Some pressure.
Yeah, there's got to be some pressure on them.
I think they're around there. And it's kind of similar to, I think it's a light version of the Phillies.
Yeah, I mean, you won a World Series in 23. You've done nothing. You dropped off in 24, and you did more of the same in 25. I think the ultimate question for the Texas Rangers this year is, are you actually contenders, or was 2023 a fluke?
You need to still do that video of was 2023 a fluke for the Rangers.
But that's beyond the point. But with the Rangers, they were bad leading up to 23.
Yeah.
Magically won the World Series, and they've gone back to being bad. Is this just a bad baseball team? Or, because I know last year, if you look at their metrics, they were unlucky. Mm-hmm. Do they bounce back this year? We'll see. I think there is pressure on the Texas Rangers, so do literally anything.
I agree.
Blue Jays. Pressure's on.
Pressure's on. And just behind Seattle. Because at least they made the World Series last year.
Yep.
Actually, I would put the Braves ahead of them for pressure.
Ooh.
Just because Toronto made the World Series last year, they've had a little bit of that success now. If they didn't make the World Series last year, I think they're right in between the Yankees and the Mets. I feel like the pressure is really, really high if they didn't make the World Series.
See, if they would have missed the playoffs last year, I have a feeling we'd be talking about them in the 2027 category if they missed the playoffs, because they would potentially not re-sign Vladdy, not re-sign Bo, blow up the core.
Well, they re-signed Vladdy in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, because they started off pretty well.
No, they started off horribly. They didn't start off great at all. They signed Vladdy and it turned around everything.
Yeah, but I have a feeling if they were if they completely bottomed out, they would have been more of a tear it down team than anything.
Could have been.
So yeah, I could see that.
Well, I kind of went and said because the Blue Jays made the World Series, they made the playoffs in general, their expectations are high now.
Yep. And the Nationals, I have already put him in there. Is it 2027 yet? And honestly, I think the question for them is it 2029 yet? When Eli Willits comes up, when some of these young guys come up,
Zach Bean,
Gavin Bean, yeah,
Gavin Bean.
Yeah, some of their top prospects will be in A ball this year, maybe some double A, but Yeah.
You expect nothing from them. So,
I expect absolutely nothing.
Zero pressure for the Nationals.
All right, that's our full list. For the pressure is on: Tigers, Phillies, Yankees, Mets, Mariners, Braves, Blue Jays, and Cubs.
And I feel like it's the first 4, you could interchange them anywhere. The second 4, you could interchange them anywhere on the bottom 4.
Yep. Some pressure: Giants, Red Sox, Orioles, Rangers, Astros, and Padres.
Yep.
Meh. Royals, Reds, Diamondbacks, Brewers, and Pirates. This feels like just the Central plus the Diamondbacks. Not much. Guardians, Miami, Tampa, Chicago White Sox, and the Dodgers. And then, is it 2027 yet? The Athletics, the Twins, the Angels, the Cardinals, Rockies, and Nationals.
Rocktober, baby.
Rocktober. But that's going to do it for this video. Well, thank you guys as always for watching. Let us know down in the comment section below. Where do you agree? Where do you disagree? Do we have some teams too high, some teams too low? Let us know down in the comment section below. But that's going to do it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.